Okay, I think I have the audio figured out. One of my best students is giving me some feedback. Alright, so I can hear it on my phone. We have double best students is giving me some feedback. So that's good stuff. Alright. So let's pop over to this view.
Oh, I see. So as soon as it stops raining, you leave.
And I should be back up and live, which is wonderful. Yep, okay, awesome. Hi everybody. Back again, as you see. Mr. Carchita here, Mercy Korean Technical High School. Building my second PC ever. I built my first one 10 years ago. August 2009, around that time. And the original specs on that was an Intel Core 2 Duo processor, Gigabyte motherboard, EP something I actually have, which is fun. I have the original motherboard box because I'm OCD and I keep everything, and that's just the way I do. So it was an EP45 UD3P, DDR2 1366 megahertz, supports that Intel Core 2 Quad P45 Express chipset, and I just, held on to a lot of different cabling from Molex. Look, my original G-Scale RAM, which I ended up replacing because it was the most unstable RAM I've had ever. This gave me problems for a long time. So I just kind of went with Crucial 4 2 gigabyte sticks, which is nice. I have a little bit of thermal paste left, but I'm not going to use that today because that's probably dead. And then I had some temporary RAM while I was troubleshooting the G-Scale. So I kept all this, which is nice. And if you decide to build a computer, you should keep your stuff too. One, if it breaks, you got a box to send it back in, and two, it's nice for aesthetics. I mean, I can't wait to compare and contrast what I bought 10 years ago to what's happening today. So as you can see, you see my parts list on the right-hand side, which is nice. And I did a lot of, extensive research into new tech and what I wanted to get out of the computer and all that jazz. So today's first objective is to figure out how to modify my case to allow this USB Type-C front panel connector to work with a USB Type-C charger port, which can be for 3.1 USB, which is like nearly 10 gigabits per second in data transfer, which I'll probably never use, but there's not a lot of mini ITX cases out there that support it. So this is the Fractal Node 202 case. So it runs $70 to $90 depending on retailer. And I gotta see how I can get this part somehow in this area, which is not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try to make it work as best as possible. It's not guaranteed to work, and the first part of this video will be a lot of experimentation and fiddling and trying different stuff and using power tools, but I don't want to mess up the case, so I have to kind of be careful with what's going on. So first things first, we're gonna take this apart a little bit to see what we can do. And I've taken this apart a few times already, so pretty easy. 4 screws inside. Please let me know via comment whether or not it's good audio, music's too loud, music's not loud enough, teacher's too loud. It's fine. I'll make an adjustment for you. Okay, so 4 screws, and this comes off like that. good stuff in it. This goes here. A little magnetic. Like this. No. How about in here? No. Like this. Yes. That should be just like that. Wonderful. So this case sort of looks like it's set like an old school set-top TiVo box, which I like because my old computer, it's large. It's a little bit too big for my workstation, which I could show you. So there it is right there. And I wanted something a little bit tinier to work with. And I chose this because of the small footprint. But with that, we have a little bit of limitations with what we can do. So I'm thinking of putting the USB Type-C in this area. But the interesting part about what I'm trying to do is this actually has to go here. And this is where the fiddling sort of happens, because definitely going to need to create a large enough opening on this part to make that happen, because this is going to be sticking through, and then I probably will be able to hold it together with some like Gorilla Glue and a clamp to keep it all stabilized. So, this is less forgiving because this is covered up. So we're going to have to kind of mark this a bit to see what we can do. Let's go there. Again, there's no book for this. I'm going to kind of just mark here, mark here, do a little trace. Trace this like that. So I'm kind of going to make something along those lines. Then I'm gonna grab a straight edge. So stand by while I do that. Be right back. Tools here. One's a speed square, but the whole idea of a speed square is to, oh wow, this kind of disappeared on me. That's silly. Man, I can hardly see that anymore, so let us do something like physically mark it up. Physical mark on here. That way I know. Okay. not a sponsorship by Empire. But it is a nice tool to use. Okay. So we got a nice mark there. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely check it out later. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this all done today, but let's see what we got. Bit annoying, but hey, we're it. Drilling some pilot holes. Bit annoying. Plan B already, which I know what that's going to be. So, again, we've got a little bit of forgiveness here because it's going to be hidden. This, we have self-tapping screw. The idea here would be to sort of drill some holes and then get this sucker out there. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's see if we can do something here. Stabilization here. Perfect. Oh, by the way, not recommended what we're doing here, because I'm clearly voiding the case warranty. But that's okay. The drill battery is dying. Stand by. Okay. Always have a second drill. So at this point, I'm going to be dealing with very sharp parts. And I'll have to blow this case in before I start putting other stuff in there, which is why I did this before putting anything in there, because I knew this was going to be a not so polished process. I know, Dave. Thank God it's not a $200 case, though. Also, I don't really have the equipment to do this, so I'm really just Going with feel right now. So we gotta somehow sort of grind this, which by the way, we are damn close to getting this done. So I don't want to use that, that's for wood. I don't want to ruin that blade. But we are going to have to figure out something. A file would work wonderfully, but I don't have one. However, I can see myself going to the store and getting one for this, because it'll help tremendously. To file these daggers that I'm working on. Also being mindful of my hands, because I can't just go at it, because I don't want to hurt myself. So I'm going to get a little bit of a sanding paper and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, very rough sandpaper. Gloves, because we don't want to hurt ourselves, know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's clean this up, push this there, put that there, this, that, bada bing. Okay, loosen this up. Okay. Let's see, integrity of the case feels okay. Hit some of these USB cables, but doesn't look like anything's broke, so carry on. Actually, if it's okay with you, I'll put that right there so I can see what's going on. manipulate this too much because of the fear of breaking anything off or cracking the metal. Sometimes you need to go get the right tools for the right job. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head to Home Depot, get a little metal file, and finish this up. So I'm going to end this stream, part 1, installing USB Type-C header into the front panel, in progress. Catch you in a half hour, something like that. Alright, stay tuned.